I wonder who I have today. I don't know. Let's see. I mean, we'll see who comes in, right? Let's see. Okay. All right. I wonder if Kimberly handled that. Or did Christina? Ugh. Ugh. Of course, they're starting the little ones right now. Ugh, it's just been such a rough day. Annoying. Let's see. All right. I suppose I'll let them know I'm ready for my next client. Okay. Perfect. Oh, hey. Oh my God. I was literally just complaining about how boring my day has been. So I'm glad you're here. Yeah, let me get comfy. Yeah. Okay, perfect. So I'm so glad you're here. Now, it hasn't been that long since I've seen you last. Yeah? Probably like a week or two maybe. Oh, you're in this area more. Okay, well, I like that. Let's see here. So let's take a look. So I need to get your information again. I know, but gotta do my due diligence, you know? Okay, move that. Let's see here. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so let me get your info pulled up here. 1 second. Okay, perfect. Can I have you verify your last name and your zip or postal code for me? Perfect. Okay, perfect. All right, so we've got let's see. Okay, so we have for you, I love this quiz, but I hope you've eaten recently. Yeah, so we are going to be talking about candy today. I know. So today we are going to be talking about candy. I cannot tell you who sponsored this survey, even I don't know. It's something that, they don't tell us all the usual things. Okay, so whenever you're ready, let's get started. How about that? Okay, perfect. And then the way this quiz will work, or not quiz, the way that this survey will work is that we are going to ask you about various kinds of candy brands, just kind of all over the place. And it's one of the positive, neutral, haven't heard of it, or negative. Yeah, it's a pretty easy one. And we'll be asking you about your preference on these various kinds of candy. If you do have any allergies, you can just list it as negative, unless you do like the thrill of trying something you're allergic to. But I do not recommend that. Okay, so let's get started here. And then there are also some demographic questions at the end, but you can skip those, of course, if you would like to. So let's see. Okay, getting everything pulled up that I need. All right, so first and foremost, what are your opinions on candy corn? Positive, neutral, dislike? Okay. All right, and Tootsie Rolls? Yep, same question. Yeah, positive, neutral, or negative? Okay. Atomic fireballs. You know, I've had a lot of people saying that about that one. Just saying. What about an almond joy or a mounds? They're kind of lumped together. Get it? Because they're kind of lumps. Okay, what about dots? Yeah, I can't elaborate on what they are. Even if I've heard of the candy, I cannot elaborate to you on what they are. All right, good and plenty. Good and plenty. All right, what about Twizzlers? Okay, perfect. All right, and hot tamales. Okay. What about runts? Positive, neutral, or negative? American Smarties. Yeah, it is specified as American Smarties because I think in Canada they are something different. I think they're different in other countries. Yeah. American Smarties, yeah. Okay. What about Airheads? Positive, neutral, or negative? All right. And in a similar vein, what about Laffy Taffy? Yeah, Laffy Taffy. Positive, neutral, or negative? All right. Milk Duds. Yeah, positive, neutral, or negative on Milk Duds? Next, we have Junior Mints. Positive, neutral, or negative? All right. Next, we have Charleston Chew. Yeah, Charleston Chew. All right, now we have Blow Pops. Yeah, Blow Pop. Positive, neutral, or negative? All right. Kit Kat. Positive, neutral, or negative? All right, now we have Whoppers. Right. Yeah, in a candy sense, not in a Burger King sense. Yeah. Forgive me, my lips are really dry. All right. Next, we have nerds. Yeah, nerds. All right. What about crunch bars? Yeah, crunch bars. And Milky Way. Perfect. And then let's see, what about 100 grand? Positive, neutral, or negative? All right. And Twix? Positive, neutral, or negative? Mm-hmm. All right. Now we have Take 5. Yeah, Take 5. Okay. And Butterfingers? Positive, neutral, or negative? All right. And Starburst? Positive, neutral, or negative? You're doing great, by the way. All right. Next up, we have Skittles. Yeah, just Skittles, any kind. Okay. And Baby Ruth? Yeah, positive, neutral, or negative? And Snickers? Mm-hmm. All right. Then we have Reese's. Yeah, whatever size. Just Reese's in general. Okay. Then we have M&M's. Perfect. We have Double Bubble. That one is just fun to say. Double Bubble. Yeah. Positive, neutral, or negative? We have Bit O Honey. Yeah, Bit O Honey. Positive, neutral, or negative? Okay, and then let's see here. And let's see, I think we are almost done. And the last one that we have are Dum Dums. Yeah, Dum Dums. All right. Well, you've handled that portion very, very well. Thank you. Now, these last few questions are a little more abstract, a little more demographic based. What I'm going to ask you about is I'm going to ask you a little bit about shopping habits and a little bit about your personal history. This data will not be used as identifiable information, and it will also not be used in future surveys. It's not information that we will keep on file. It's all information that only pertains to this survey. Perfect. And again, if you don't feel comfortable answering any of the questions, just let me know and we can skip it. We're here to work with you. Yeah, not a problem at all. So, all right, let's get to it. On average, how much money would you say you spend per year on candy or sweets, but mostly candy, not including ice cream, soda, or dessert, just candy? Okay. All right. Would you say that you are the person who is most in charge of purchasing groceries in your household? Okay. When you think of places that you go to purchase candy, where are the stores that come to mind? Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then, would you say that most of your candy purchases are purchases that you plan to make, or are they more impulse buys? Okay. All right. Now, thinking back to when you were a minor and were not able to purchase your own items as far as candy, things like that, you didn't have a job, thinking back to that time in your life, um, would you say that there was a particular kind of candy or brand that you would stick to? And if so, what was it? Essentially, what was your favorite candy when you were a kid? I know. I don't know why they worded it like that. It's so dumb. Anyway, what candy would you say? Okay. And then to continue on to that, is that still a favorite kind of candy of yours now? Yeah. Like, do you still pick it up at the grocery store on occasion? Or... Okay. Perfect. Now, also, have you ever handed out candy to trick or treaters? And if so, do you stick with a particular brand of candy to hand out to them? Okay. All right. Then this year, thinking ahead, are you planning to hand out candy? If so, have you already purchased it? Okay. And if you have purchased candy, which candy have you purchased? Or is it multiple brands? You can list as many as you'd like. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I think that's a good amount. Okay. Now the last couple of questions, they are more demographic key. Would you say that your age range is 18 to 24, 25 to 36, 37 to 47, or 48 and higher? Okay. And how many years have you been purchasing candy, would you say? Perfect. All right. Now, the last question that we have is, what company do you feel sponsored this survey? I know. I can't tell you because I don't know, but if you were to guess, what company would you guess sponsored this survey? I haven't heard anyone guess that one, but I think you might be onto something. Okay, perfect. So I've got you all set here. Now, I do know that we do have a few other surveys out there that are kind of in a similar vein. So hopefully you get tapped for those ones as well. Because as always, it's my pleasure to see you. Yeah, yeah. I don't have any other questions for you, but you've completed the survey for the day. I've marked it in my system here, so the folks up front should be able to help make sure that you get paid. Perfect. Yeah, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and take care of yourself, all right? Okay, bye. They really are one of my favorites. They always have such insightful answers. Who am I even talking